My brother's wife just had a baby, and my husband and I, both in our mid-30s, were thrilled to plan a visit to meet the newest addition to the family. We live about 40 minutes away from their place, so it's not a quick trip, and we like to make these visits count. With a new baby in the house, I figured my brother and his wife were probably exhausted, juggling feedings, diapers, and their other kids. So I suggested to my husband that we bring dinner for them when we go. It seemed like a no-brainer, a nice gesture to take one thing off their plate. We could pick up something hearty, like a big lasagna or take out from their favorite spot, and all they'd need to do is sit and eat. I even offered to handle serving and clean up afterward so they wouldn't have to lift a finger. To me, it was a practical way to show we care, especially since we'd likely be there into the evening. But my husband wasn't on board. He thought bringing food was fine, but it absolutely shouldn't be dinner. His reasoning? We should leave before dinner time to avoid being a burden. This threw me for a loop. I pictured us arriving in the afternoon, cooing over the baby, catching up, and then sharing a meal to make the visit feel warm and connected. His plan would cut our time short, rushing us out the door before the evening even started. He argued that bringing dinner and eating with them would be an imposition, like we were forcing ourselves into their space. I couldn't wrap my head around it. How could offering to feed everyone, especially when we're doing all the work, be rude? My brother's family isn't formal. They'd probably appreciate not having to cook or order out themselves. I tried to talk it through with him, but he dug in, saying it's just not proper to assume they'd want us there for a meal. He's neurodivergent, which sometimes shapes how he sees social situations. So I wondered if this was him overthinking etiquette in a way I wasn't getting. Still, I pushed back, explaining that my brother and his wife would likely be grateful for the gesture. New parents are overwhelmed, and a free meal with family feels like love, not a burden. He countered that we could drop off food earlier in the day, like snacks or a lunch dish, and still be considerate without overstaying. I get his point about not wanting to intrude, but I think he's overcomplicating it. My brother's family has always been laid back, and I've brought food for casual hangouts before without anyone batting an eye. The disagreement left me second-guessing. Maybe I'm not seeing some unspoken rule about visiting new parents. I started wondering if my husband's right and I'm pushing too hard for what I think is a kind gesture. But every time I imagine showing up with a steaming casserole, I can't help but think it'd be a hit, something to make their day easier and our visit more meaningful. We'd be there to celebrate their new baby, not to add stress. Still, his insistence that it's rude has me questioning whether I'm missing something cultural or social that he's picking up on. I want the visit to feel good for everyone, but now I'm stuck on whether to push for the dinner idea or just go along with his plan to keep the peace. Am I the asshole for thinking we should bring dinner and stay to eat with them? Thanks for listening, and if you want to hear more interesting stories, just click the link below.